Morning, fellas.
Sounds good. What's up, Mark? What's shaking, buddy?
Good
Nothing. Good
morning,
morning.
all.
Good morning, Jason.
Good
Look
morning,
at
all.
that. We got a fan and a friend from across the pond. Hey everybody, what's up, dude?
I'm
It's
giving I'm giving you the stunt wave.
there you go. Happy Friday. It's your boy Jason Gulick. I am joined by my co-host, my friend, your friend, our friend, Mark Deeds Kludzinski. And we have a very special guest
Morning.
joining us from the United Kingdom, our friend Jason Knight. Jason, good morning, good afternoon. It's 1:45 there, right?
Yes, correct. Yeah, thanks for having me on, guys. I'm really looking forward to this.
We've been looking
Yes,
forward to
us
having
too.
you on too, man. Thank you.
Thank you. Honor. Thank you.
Mark, I want to thank you for reaching out to Jason and putting all this together and setting it up. You and I were at the IWCA. You had an opportunity to meet Jason while we were there, but I think you corresponded with him a little bit prior to, right?
I'm not sure. I don't believe so, but I
Oh,
was
got it.
familiar with the story or so. But I spoke with Jason and your parents briefly at the Golden Nugget there, and so I wanted
Yeah.
to. That was even we didn't. Yeah, this show has evolved since then. I don't think we had an idea to have a show or anything at that point, but
No.
we definitely want to. We're glad to have you on to highlight safety and all that stuff, and to learn about your journey and what you're up to now.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So, do you want to start from the beginning, or do you want to know what I'm
Sure.
doing
Yeah,
now?
jump right in and wherever you feel comfortable. Yeah, heck yeah.
Well, for people that don't know my story, so my name's Jason. I had a local window cleaning business in my local area here in UK. Um, it was going very well until a certain day on the 6th of April. It was a Saturday. I was on my last job and on my last window, and as I came off the last window and pulled my pole back, I was struck by 33 kV line, which chucked me 8 feet across the garden and knocked me out unconscious straight away. How long I was there on the grass, nobody really knows. But when I came round, I was very confused. I didn't know who I was, where I was, and very unaware of the injuries that I sustained. When I tried to stand up, I fell straight back down to the floor again. I'm very weak, and I managed to crawl across to the conservatory. There was one in the garden there. She had it built on the back, and I could remember propping myself up, very weak, thinking I'm in a lot of trouble here. And I wasn't really aware of what had happened to me, because when you're chucked unconscious, you just don't, you haven't got a clue. It was only luckily for me, it was only when the homeowner came out and found me. She dropped. I can remember it like I can remember it like so well. She came out of his cup of tea, and it just went all over the floor in panic, because what she could see that I couldn't see was my feet were burnt black. My shoes had been blown off. My face was burnt. My left arm was completely black and burnt. My whole face was burnt. And it just, yeah, there was loads more injuries from there. But at this stage, again, I was unaware of what had happened, and it took so long for the ambulance to turn up as well, because they weren't quite sure what had happened either. And it was only when the ambulance crew turned up and they asked me, "Oh, do you carry chemicals on the van?" Because they could see there was obvious burns on me.
Yeah.
And I was like, no. And I was aware enough and with it enough by then to realise that no, I don't carry chemicals. It's only pure water on the van. And they were scratching their heads, and it's only when they looked up and they put two and two together, and there they
Yeah.
were. And there they were. The 33 kV lines. So what happened was when I come off that window with a 30, what I've learned now is with a 33 kV line, the exclusion zone is your safe distance. It's the recommended exclusion zone, the distance that your local health and safety and DNO will put out. So as I come off that window, I came inside that exclusion zone. So I was about 2.7, and that was enough for that line to find a shorter route. So it was only when I put my hand up to bring the section down is when I completed the circuit. And that's when it went straight across to the top of my pole, down the pole, through me, through my arm, and out my feet, and then blew me across the garden. So you can imagine that alarm bells were going off by now. They called the Wiltshire Air Ambulance, the local one to us, and got me there within about 12 minutes to Bristol Southmead Hospital.
Awesome.
Thank you to them because they saved my life. They really did.
We're
So
going to talk about them soon too.
sorry.
I'd like you to talk about them soon too.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Absolutely. So yeah, as you can imagine, everybody's in panic. They wheel me in, and they need to get me into surgery pretty quick because with electrocutions, it's not like a normal burn. With a normal burn, it's quite visual and it sort of stays that way. With electrical burns, it's something called presenting,
Yes.
and it can take it from day one to about 2 weeks. It can take about I'd say 2 3 weeks. And what it does is it presents itself, the damage presents itself, and the flesh starts to die. And if they don't take that out, you can get sepsis and then death because
Yes.
you can't leave it in the body. So I went on for about 3 weeks. I had about 23 operations in 2 weeks.
Wow.
Removing my hand, removing toes, and this is removing muscles in my legs, and this is the damage what electrocution can do to you. And I would imagine a lot of people have seen the images of that I've kindly shared as well, what it can do to you. But moving the story on a bit more, I was in there 4 months, and
Yeah.
I was lucky enough then to be released after 4 months after excruciating operations and pain. So I sort of brushed over that a bit quickly because a lot of people have heard that story. But where am I now? So I've just given £10,000 to my local charities, to Southmead and to Wiltshire Air Ambulance.
Awesome.
So I always said at the start, any money that was donated through my GoFundMe, I'd give 5,000 each to them to say thank you for saving my life.
Which is a pure class act, Jason.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Kudos to you. Kudos to your family. Kudos to everybody that is involved with, what's transpired in your life, and from taking something that could be super tragic and super, just bringing you, it could be something that could bring you down, and as opposed to letting it keep you down. You mentioned 23 surgeries, countless hours probably of therapy and recovery, and that is mentally excruciating. And instead of keeping it in, you're giving it back and letting it out in a different manner. So I want to say thank you for the way that you're going about that.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
It's super enlightening. And I can see the raw emotion in reliving. And thank you for sharing that with us. Like, I can't believe that you're taking something that's so life-changing, and it's not only, it's not only you, it's your family, your wife, your kids, um, your parents, your loved ones. So it's very inspirational how you're going about this.
Thank you.
So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Um, you mentioned April 6th as a date. What year?
2024.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're talking like 18 months ago
Yeah,
or something
18
like
months
that?
ago. 18 months ago. And I'm only sat here now because I made the decision when I was in hospital. I say this to a lot of people, how do you do it? How do you stay? I'll tell you something now. I have my down days.
Yeah.
I have my down days. And I don't want anybody to say I don't, but I do. And that's, you got to have your down days to reflect on things. But I made a very quick decision when I was sat in that hospital bed that I could either sit there and cry about it
Feel sorry for
and
yourself.
feel sorry for myself or option B is to be strong, be there for my kids, be there for my family and my friends, and also do something about it. Why did this happen in the first place? Why, what where did I go wrong? What does the industry need to change? And all this was going through my head at the time, and that's the decision and what I wanted to do. So, and this is why I'm sat here now doing what I'm doing and traveling here, there, and all over the world. So, you know, you just got to stay positive and keep pushing.
Hell yeah. Can I don't know. So I don't know if you've tuned into our show much at all, or even if you've seen an episode, or you barely, or if you know us or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't know anything about, like, this is our first interaction, mine and yours. I know, like I said, I think I briefly saw you in the elevator when we were at Vegas, but I didn't get much interaction. Um, but one of the things that you just mentioned is down days, right?
mm,
Uh, one of the things that Mark and I are trying to do with our morning show is have a place for guys to come when they're having a down day and get a good pick me up and get a good smile and get like basically a virtual hug and a high five and a what's up, bro. You know what I mean? Like, so,
yeah,
um, I am so glad that you're here to join us today. Um, because this is
Thank
what
you.
this is exactly what we are trying to do, is to remind our friends that there is a place too, and there are friends in the industry that might be struggling with something,
yeah,
that they have a spot, and Goo and Deeds are here for it, bro. Like, if you ever need to pop in just to say what up too, um, we tried to shoot. We were a little late today, gang. Sorry, I apologize. Technical difficulties sending emails to the UK. But this conversation is exactly what we're trying to do with our little morning coffee shows. And it's like you're saying, how did this happen? How can I affect it? What can I do? Like, little minor things that you're doing right now, you have no idea how, in the grand scope of things, they're affecting down the road or have already affected. So, like, I just can't believe that you're sitting here with us basically 18, 20 months out after such a tragic and crazy, wild occurrence on such a normal day, on something you've done hundreds and countless times. Um, yeah, it's amazing. Um, so you talked a little bit about recognition, recognizing your surroundings. Um, that's probably one of the, what would you say the best ways to keep yourself safe, right?
yeah.
Know
I
be aware of your surroundings.
Yeah, like I've since this incident happened, I've met a lot of people, professionals in the industry, that do a lot of training to other people in the industry, and I've learned a lot. There's a lot of things I could have done differently, and this is why I'm here today, guys, because this stuff's important, and this stuff that I'm going to share with you very soon this is going to dramatically decrease the percentages of you getting electrocuted. This stuff I'm going to share with you is going to really, this could save your life. So I think what we'll start off with is number one. I'm going to start with training. I think, without this sounding rude, I think we could all be a little bit know-alls, or ignorance can kick in. Sorry to be blunt, but we can't all be like that at times. And I don't need training now. I know what I'm doing.
We need to be kicked down a peg.
Hey,
we need to be kicked down a peg. Sometimes, like humbled.
Yes, yeah. Sometimes, yeah. If you want, if that's the way you want to put it. But I think sometimes we all go in our day, and we don't actually think about what we need to know. And we all want to learn how to do the job, but we need to learn the safety side of the job as well. And I say to people, you need to really go on and do some training courses, just some basic, water fare pole training courses that with some basic health and safety that teach you your safe distances. It teach you what to look out for. It teach you, all the best practices, near electrical lines, what you need to know. So yeah, that's my number one tip is that, guys, don't ignore training. Pay for it. It'd be the best investment that you'll ever do. Yeah, just do it. Just book yourself on a training course out there. I know when I took my visit over at Vegas, I know solar panels are a big issue over there as well with electrocution. So there's people out there that I know that do training on solar panels, how to clean them properly. But yeah, just find someone that and they're reputable and they've got good reviews to get trained up and learn this stuff. So that's my tip number one.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. What a lot of things are adjusting, and changing constantly in our field as well when it comes to like protection gear and the equipment and stuff like that. Insulated shoes, there's all sorts of things that are evolving on a constant and a day, evolving all the time. Are you obviously proponents for those? Like, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of misinformation as well, that is thrown out there. I don't know. Sometimes
safety courses,
information overload. You know what I mean? Like you get information, but then you don't know what to do with it. And I guess that's where the training comes in. But
I think training is just a good starting ground. I think the basics. It's going to teach you the basics. And in there it'll teach you, what health and safety equipment is out there. Another thing I'll mention is, like, when it comes to like wearing safety stuff for working near electrical sites. Let me just quickly put this out there as well before I go into electrical stuff. Just because you've got all the gear and you've got the know-how and you've got your dielectric boots, your insulated gloves, doesn't still mean you do the job. So I just want to put that out there, because I don't want people saying to themselves, well, I've listened to Jason and other people in the industry, and I'm all right now because I've got all this equipment. You're better off just walking away, guys, if you don't know what you're dealing with. So that's rule number two is to find out. Contact your local DNO, your local distributor, and find out what you're working next to. Because if you don't know what KV them lines are, how do you know what distances you need to be from them?
Yeah, that was the other thing that's like, I had no idea to, like, I'm a residential window cleaner, right? And
yes,
I live in a metropolis, but at the same time too, like, I rarely get close to power lines, so it wasn't really something that I even considered. And then all of a sudden, I'm watching videos, I'm seeing signs about, oh, hey, if it's got this many wires, that tested, that's going to put out 30,000, or 2 wires means this, and I'm like, dude, fuck, do I have to learn a bunch of more stuff? Like that kind of scare, that's frightening
I think
sometimes too.
I think you can look into it a bit too deeply. I
Yeah.
think I think you just need to know the basics. I think all that stuff. That's look. End of the day, we're window cleaners. We're exterior cleaners. We're not
Yeah, we're not
electricians.
electricians, we're not
No,
linemen.
I don't want people to get confused with this stuff. It's just, I think it's all about just having basic awareness. We all know what, most of us know what a power line looks like. I know I get a lot of confusion between like a telephone line where there's multiple lines coming out, but I know there's confusion there. But again, it's just about, sometimes it's better to just, if you're not sure, just walk away
Yeah.
until you know what you're dealing with. Either ask the customer, what is that line, because they might have rang up their local distributor and said, well, what is this in my garden, and they would have told them. Or that's down to you or your employer to find out what your employer or you're the owner of the business is what you're dealing with. So it's that's how that's what I would say to most people. You know, power lines, they can vary in looks. So like you said, some will have 3 wires, some will only have 1 wire,
Yeah.
but it's not your job to know that. It's your job to make a phone call and find out what that is. It's you're not meant to really know that sort of information.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it's our
Treat any
duty.
yeah,
Sorry.
treat any wire like it's a live wire. Even if it looks like it could be cable.
Exactly, Mark. Exactly that. Just treat it as live. You'll see that in most health and safety documents, is treat all wires as live. That's what it is saying in big writing. Consume it's live and walk away until you know what you're dealing with.
Tell your customer I'll take $8 off the invoice because I wasn't going to do the one in the back, by the fence
Well,
below.
well,
They'll
yeah,
understand.
yeah. Well, yeah, they have to.
Mm.
And don't be pressured into peer pressure from a customer, or don't be afraid of losing a customer, or don't be forced by your employer. It's your employer's duty to make that you're safe.
Mm-hmm.
It's your own responsibility to make sure you're safe, and it's the customer's responsibility to understand the situation that's in hand. And if if the customer doesn't like it, then that's fine.
Yeah.
Your life's more important.
Yeah, I had a customer 2 days ago inside window cleaning. I had 3.5 stacks loaded up in their living room, and they wanted me to clean behind these draped windows up high, but there was
Yeah,
couches and stuff. So long story short is I told her I couldn't clean those due to safety and how it was positioned and all that stuff. And they got it. She totally understood, and she was
yeah.
she was thrilled that I was honest with her. So skip the windows if unsure.
Yeah, yeah. If you've got, if you go to a customer's house and you've got a power line at the back of the house,
Yep.
avoid it. Just do the front.
Yep.
Explain why. Use me as an example.
Yeah. Look
Use
up.
me.
Look
This
out.
is what happened to this guy. This is what he looks like now. I don't want to look like that.
Oh,
We're gonna skip it, man.
I think you're a handsome guy, man.
Stop it.
No, seriously, and you know what cracks me up too is your demeanor about this, with which way, and the manner in which you carry yourself and the way you share your story as well. How many different venues have you spoken at, do you think? How many public speaking appearances have you had? Like this is probably gotten to a point to where it's like, damn.
It can get a bit much, but I have to keep reminding myself that every time I speak, every time I share my story, and every time I give just practical advice, if I could relive it again, I'm potentially saving someone's life. I'm it makes me feel, it's hard to keep bringing it up, but at the same time I get satisfaction because I feel that I'm making a big difference in this industry. And there is a big problem in this industry because we were all forced to, health and safety wanted us to all come off ladders, which most of us did. Some don't. Some prefer it and do it in a safe manner, but which has created another problem. Now we're all using poles and stuff like that, but we're forgetting that there's dangers above us in the way of power lines. So yeah, I feel it's my calling now to share this information with people and use myself as an example of what can happen. And I think we all, as human beings, as human nature, to walk around and say that it never happened to me. And I was the same, and now look where I am. It never happened to me. It never happened to me. Bang. Excuse the punt in a flash. You
So
know?
you feel like another thing that we talk about on this show too is like, or we not talk about, but we don't shy away from too is faith, right? And you just use the term calling. You were initially were a welder, correct?
I was, yeah.
And then you were a window washer. And did you think you were ever going to be? I mean, your dad owned a window cleaning company. You obviously didn't really want to. Did you want to follow in those footsteps, and then you became a window washer, or
No. So how it come about with me? I was a fully I was a professional fabricator welder for. I left school and I got to think now. About 12, 13 years I did it
yeah,
for. And like some industries, I just fancied a change, you know. I just had enough. And dad had his cleaning business. And he said to me, well, we could do with a window washer. You can come on for me if you want and see if you like it. And being used to working in a workshop for many, many years in a sort of a boxed environment in four
yeah,
walls, my first day out, I was like, oh my God, like this is amazing. Like the freedom it gives you window cleaning, you know, and the interactions and the conversations you have with different people is amazing. And then there's all the kit you can buy, and I just got addicted to it. And I was like, Dad, this is amazing. This is what I want to do. So he took me on, but father and son working together
yeah.
doesn't always go down very well, and we argued a lot, and it put a lot of strain on our relationship is a dad and a son. So that's when I made the move and said to him, well, look, can I start off my own one, build my roundup,
Yeah.
and I'll still work for you. And then when I've got enough customers, I'll then go full time. And that's what I did. And I did that then for a few years and then built it up and put all that effort in. Then bang, this happened.
So you were on your own for how long at that point?
3 years.
Nice. So you'd about 4.5 years, you'd already built a business. And
Yeah.
what what is the business still functioning? Is it running in your absence? Did you just shut it down and be like, the reason I'm asking is because you mentioned about a calling, right? Earlier you said, you know, and is this your calling now? Was the event enough for you to be like, okay, I don't need to be a part of this anymore. My calling is now safety and health advocate. Just like, how do you transition from that to that?
That's high. So I haven't H2O Vision, my business, that's what it was called. It's still a business, but it's just not operating at the minute. I've kept my options open with my business. I obviously can't at this particular, never say never, but
Yeah.
I can't physically do the work as it stands at the minute. So I've kept it open. I've kept my options, but as it stands at the minute, this is what I want to do because I feel that this is more priority. I feel that there's a huge dark area in the industry, and I feel that people need to be enlightened by it. And I feel that once my mission is done with this, and I've got as much awareness out as possible, then I've still got my business name out there, and I may start it back up again and employ and do that and take people on and go again. But as it stands at the minute, this to me and what happened to me, I just don't want people going through what I did. Because what I went through was just horrific.
Absolutely.
Horrific. So, you know, so yeah, the answer to your question is my mission at the minute is doing this, doing all the awareness stuff, making people aware, just making it automatic. So when people walk, get out of the truck, they're looking up. You know, they're looking
And
up.
then you just turn away.
You just turn away. Yeah, but that's in a way. But that could be the best decision you make. This could be the best. That could be the life and death decision you made there. Just getting out your truck and looking up. I tell people, look up, look at your surroundings, you know, and I think I've drilled it in enough now at the minute that people do that now, you know, all over the world. So
Yeah.
it just wasn't a thing. It just wasn't a thing before this incident happened. Some people were aware, but it just wasn't a thing.
You're right. You're
Yeah.
absolutely right. And I wasn't trying to be crass or insensitive about asking about the business. I'm trying to ask, like, you, it's a life altering, obviously, change. And like we
It
talked about
is.
earlier, for you, for your family, you know, you have to go about things in a different manner now. What are some of the things that bring you brightness and joy? And when do you feel most fulfilled? Like, how do you go about doing that nowadays? Like you mentioned about the freedom of being out in the field, and like that changed the light, but like what is it that's bringing you some, like, just some serious love and happiness right now?
Being with my family, I just think things could have gone really really sour. You know, I was near death, and I think for me, I think most people know who run a business. I was away from my family a lot because you as the responsible man you are, as a family and a dad, you have to earn the bread, right? So I was away from my family a lot. I didn't see my firstborn grow up very much. So I was out there building businesses and stuff. So I'm just thankful now that I get more time with my family. I've been given another chance. That gives me joy. Yeah, really. It's just I don't just happy to be here. It's just
Yeah.
you look at you know, people say to me like I say to people, you look at life very differently after a near death experience. The things you think are important are not important, you know, and I think you only have that mind shift when something, you know, I dread to think, no, I don't want anything to happen to anybody, but I think that mind shift comes from a serious near death experience. And I look at everything now as positive as I can. And I'm thankful for everything that comes my way now, and I don't worry as much as I used to. You look at things differently.
Yeah, no, I get you. And it's unfortunate that sometimes that we have to go through something so dark to, I don't want to use the term see the light, but like
Oh no,
for us to,
it is. It is. Excuse me, chaps. I just got to put my phone on charge.
No
you're good.
problem.
Just give me 2 seconds.
Um, but I agree with you. Like, so when I was younger, I was about 22 years old. Um, I fell 30. I was on the top, like, of a 3-story. I was coming out of a concert venue, and I
Yeah.
was at the top of the 3rd story, and I got bumped over, and I fell 3 stories down in between a stairwell.
Oh my god.
I broke my pelvis. I crushed my hand. I landed on the side of my face. I had a traumatic brain injury. And yeah, like it really, it like, I don't know. I think also I was a little younger than you. I was way younger than you at the time. I was about 22 years old. So I thought I was made out of piss vinegar and iron and steel.
But don't we? But don't we all? Don't we
Yeah,
all?
but it definitely was humbling, and it did make me look at things a little differently. Um, You know, you mentioned your kids. You have 3 kids, correct?
Yeah, I've got an 8-year-old, and I've got twins. They just turned 3. So when all this happened, they were babies.
Yeah. So they probably don't remember or have any memory of like the 8-year-old probably does, but the young ones don't. How are, how are they adapting with everything? I mean, kids are freaking resilient, right?
They are. So in my scenario, the twins don't know nothing, no different. They don't know. They're too young. They just see me as dad with one hand and not doesn't walk very well. My eldest, it really hit her hard. Um, so we had to do something about that, and it was hard because when I was in hospital and she come to see me, it's almost like she wasn't worried about seeing me, but she didn't want to touch me or anything, but she doesn't want to hurt me anymore. It really affected her, and this is what happens when you have a serious incident like you mentioned earlier. It doesn't just affect yourself; it affects your family too, and
Yeah,
tremendously. It's an emotional roller coaster. It really is.
yeah. And I can imagine it takes a toll on people. We go through a lot of times too, we go through physical therapy, right? A lot of,
Mm,
and people don't talk, we tell people how strong they are for how much they go through for their
mm,
physical aspect and oh, you're so strong and this and that. Um, I don't know if this is something that you do or not, but I believe that these types of conversations are a form of therapy, are a form of mental therapy.
yep.
Um, and I want to commend you. I don't know what you're doing outside of these types of conversations, but again, I want to commend you for talking about these things and going
Mm,
through these steps again and again. Um, because that is like in my opinion, and I'm not a therapist, I'm not a doc, but in my opinion, this is another form of therapy. And I want to commend you because I don't know if anyone's told you this, but I want to commend you for all the work that you're putting your mind through, that you and your wife and your daughters are going through, because I know how much mental training it can go through, that your body and your mind have to go through for something like this.
yeah.
Um, and it does take, I cannot imagine the mental and emotional toll. And you mentioned the term roller coaster, uh,
Mm,
but it shows resiliency and a tremendous amount of strength from you and your support system. So I know that dad gets all the love and the shine, but
yeah.
I don't know if your wife and your daughters will watch this or not, but I would love for you to send them our well wishes and
Mm.
let them know that I think that they're super too.
Oh,
It sounds like you have a really strong support system and a family that just is there for you. I mean,
they
obviously,
are.
you couldn't do any of this without the help of them. And that, like I said, that's a different kind of training when you're working with your minds and you're working with your emotions and your heart. It's a different kind of workout. And
Yeah.
and from one guy, one window washer to another, it seems like you're a severely yoked here and in here type of person. So congratulations on that aspect. And it seems like you really have it together on that, man. I
Thank you.
commend you.
Thank you. And it's correct what you're saying. Not just in my scenario. There's a lot of people out there that are suffering for different things, and I feel talking about it helps so much. It really does. You have to talk. And anybody who's watching this, and other people, if you're in a tough place, just ring someone and talk to someone, because you don't realize how much of a difference that makes. So you're not on your own. So There's
Yeah,
lots of support.
I can't say that enough. So I'll give you a little background on me.
Yeah, please.
I'm a recovering alcoholic, right? I haven't drank in like 6.5 years. And
Congratulations.
thank you. Um, one of the things that I'm noticing about these conversations that we're having in the morning is it doesn't matter if we're talking about health and safety physically, it doesn't matter what we're talking about. It's that we're talking, that we have that dialogue. And that is seriously, like, when Mark and I got together at the IWCA in Vegas, we had morning coffees every morning, right? And when we got home, we when we separated and went our separate ways, we're like, man, that was so much fun. When can we do it again?
Yeah.
So we wanted that community feeling of being able to have these conversations on a weekly basis. And I feel like guys like you, um, guys like Mark and me, and all of our friends that pop in 3 times a week to join, I think it's so imperative and so important that they know that we're all here. And I can't believe that you were open enough to just, we sent an email and you're like, sure, I'll come on the show and talk about, something so personal.
Oh,
And so,
yeah.
it's just, I don't know, man. You inspire me.
Jace, I do it because I care, and there's a lot of other people out there that are going through, like I said, going through different things. There's a lot of mental health is a huge problem, and it wasn't taken serious enough. Now it is, and I wanted to come on and just show, it's good to talk about your problems. Sorry. Okay, bye. Sorry about that, guys. Yes, it's good. It's good to share your problems and what you're thinking, and just talk. Like, don't be afraid to talk. It's
Absolutely.
as simple as that, really. Don't bottle things up, and for whatever reasons it is.
No, I couldn't agree more. And it feels like sometimes, like, it's great that we have a forum and a place, like, we are able to put this out into pro window cleaning, into the group forum, that we're almost 40,000 members strong. Can you believe that, bro? We're
Amazing. Well
almost
done.
40,000
Yeah.
members. Not in our little goo and deeds nonsense, but there's almost 40,000 members in that pro window cleaning group. There's another 15,000 in Window Cleaning Nation. There's another, 20 or 10,000 in a couple other groups. There's window cleaners. We are a weird and wild group of people, and
Yeah.
we're all over the world. And it's so great that, we can have friends in the UK, in France, in Brazil, in Denmark, and you know what I mean? And we all have something in common, and it's cleaning glass, slinging suds. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
We live in a great era now that we can just pop on now. Don't matter where you are in the world, and just talk.
Yeah, it is.
Simple as clicking a button.
It's it's something that we take for granted, I think, sometimes. And I think that it's conversations like these that we're having this morning that make me really feel good about what it is that Mark and I are trying to do. And it all started at the IWCA, like all of it coming together, a culmination. Now Mark and I have been fortunate enough to have, I think, 95 episodes or something crazy like that. About 50 episodes where we've had guests join us. And it's just something that's, I feel like, you mentioned the word calling earlier, and I feel like it's something that we've been called to do. And I'm super happy with the way it's turning out.
Yeah.
One of the things that you mentioned earlier, in the way that you're giving back, how did you decide to go about the way of coming up with giving back to the people that help save your life?
In do you mean through like the air ambulance and
Yeah.
Yeah, you recently you donated two 5,000 pound.
yes.
So how did you what inspired you and what drove you to decide, hey, I'm gonna try to donate back to the two organizations that help revive
This
me, I guess. I mean, I
well
don't know.
they got well these are the guys and girls that worked endlessly on me day, night,
Yeah.
kept me give me a fighting chance, and never gave up on me. Never give up on me.
Yeah.
Always kept me in good spirits. And and they know who they are. There's many people involved in my recovery. And why wouldn't you want to give back? There's some people out there, it just blows my mind. But from day one, that's all I wanted to do was give back to these people that it's give so much to me.
Yeah.
Give me the opportunity of life. What could be a better gift of coming back and seeing your family again, the ones you love and your friends, and So why over here at Air Ambulance, it's a charity based run, and it's not backed by government or anything like that. I don't know what it's like over in the States, but it's not funded. So every penny they get from charity is what keeps that thing in the air and flying and saving lives. And that's why I gave a chunk of my donations that was meant for me for my recovery to them, because it's another flight paid for that can have another chance of living. It's the same for Southmead Hospital. It's a piece of machinery or wages for staff or whatever they use it for to save another life.
Bro, you're
Give
so selfless.
well, thank you, but it's just the right thing to do. In my mind, it's the right thing to do, and I'll keep on giving. You know, it's just the way I am. It's just the way I think. It's what I think is right. And I just hope I can go. When my time comes and I go to my grave, I can go to my grave knowing that I did everything I could. You know,
That's
I
a really introspective and like it's almost like you're looking at life outside. Does that make
you
do you track
you
that? Do you follow what I'm
yeah,
trying to
yeah,
say
no, that's
here?
exactly you nailed it on the head. That is exactly how I think now. I look at things completely differently. I look at you do, and I'll go back to like the having a near death experience, and your priorities change and the way you used to think, and the sort of the take goes, and you get like a give back, because the love that I got, the love and even now, like the support you guys, the whole support network, and everybody. I get messages every single day. How are you, Jace? Strangers I never spoke to before. How are you, Jace? I've seen your story. You know, it's just amazing, and you don't realize how much support's out there when you need it, and when you do need it, it is there. Whether it's from hospital staff or your friends, or it's crazy. But yeah, well off a bit track there, but yeah.
Or from some kooks in
Or
Houston, Texas, and Phoenix,
yeah,
Arizona.
or yeah, exactly that. Yeah. It's all part of it. So, but no, I again, that's all I want to do is just give back, and yeah,
Well, I think
Well,
that's
thanks.
a great way to not only look at life, but I think it also shows it's a great representation to your kids. And then when you put that out into the world, and this is another thing that we try to do too, is like our actions, mine, yours, Mark's, our actions are contagious.
yeah,
So when we go out and we share and we give and we promote kindness, love, respect, generosity, all these things, right, that we're kind of taught when we're young.
yeah,
When we actually put them in motion and we pay it forward, basically what you're saying, um, things happen. And if we continue to do this on a day-to-day basis, small changes make big changes, right, baby?
Exactly.
So I don't know, man. It's just I dig exactly like what it is that you're putting out into the universe, how you're going about your business, and I can't tell you how impressed I am just by this conversation.
Yeah.
This is we got a late jump, and we have to start wrapping it up. But I cannot tell you what this conversation has done for me. Mark, dude, you locked up a hell of a guest, man. Like I am so
I'm
happy
glad
that you
Jason can
had
share his
Jason
story.
on.
And yeah,
Thank you, Mark. Thank you for getting me on. But how long we got? How long we got left?
We got about 5 minutes or so.
Right. Can I just wrap it up with a few things then, just to leave some
of course. Yeah, go
watchers
for it.
with. Right. Just back onto the sort of safety side of it. So look, before you start a job, look up, look out, beware of your surroundings. Okay.
Yeah.
Find out what the lines you're working next to. Find out all information about them lines before you even put a pole in the air. Thirdly, once you found out, keep your distances. A formula that I borrowed kindly from Michael Draper himself is full usable pole length plus 1/3 plus your recommended exclusion zone for whatever the power line is. So that's that formula. Health and safety. So your boots, dielectric boots, gloves, they're all rated. Check what the rating is. A lot of them are rated up to about 20,000 volts now, but I know the gloves can vary. What else? Poles, insulated poles. I know is it zero cover. There you go. Look, just there.
Yeah,
Look,
Mark's got one. I've got one behind me,
beautiful,
an insole pole.
beautiful. You know,
Yeah.
so guys, when you're working near an electrical hazard, make sure you're putting these sections on, and I think they slip over them ones, don't they, or they connect together. But
Yep.
but you guys use this stuff. It's there for a reason. These manufacturers have made this to keep you safe. Okay. Don't be pressured from doing any jobs. Yeah, really. I'm trying to think of anything else I've missed off. Training. Get your training right at the start. Don't miss training. Yeah, stay aware, look up, look out, remember me. And I'll leave it with this. When you get to a job, look up and say to yourself, is this job really worth my life? You know, because it ain't. It's just a job. You know, it's just a job. It's just glass. You know, it's not worth it, guys. So please just be aware, stay safe, go back to your families. And that's when the job is complete, when you go back home.
Well
Yeah,
said.
absolutely. Is there we at the end of the show too, we also like to give you an opportunity if you wanted to give a shout out to any of your loved ones, anybody that you like. You kind of smirked when I mentioned, you're like, they know who they are.
I got one looking at me right now, actually.
Anybody you want to say I love you to, anybody you want to say thank you to, and like we're about to hit Halloween here, but we're also coming upon Thanksgiving, which is a time where we're really grateful for. We should be grateful all year round, but where we say thanks more often. Is there anyone you want to give thanks to or give a shout out to?
Yeah, well, first I want to thank God.
Yep.
Yeah, I want to thank my wife, my one and only love of my life. It was always there through my hard times. She was the foundation of everything. She was the one that kept everything going. Without her, I just couldn't physically do it. My dad, my mum, my friends, all your community, you guys, everybody. You know, everybody's played a part in my recovery, and I just want to thank you all for just giving me the opportunity and giving me the time to listen to me as well. And I feel very honoured and valued to be able to share this with you all. So yeah, guys, you know, I'm going to be there again at the IWCA in February. So if anybody wants to come and speak to me, please do.
Oh yeah.
I'll be giving out. Hang on, Sarah, do me a favour. Come here, my love. Hold that phone. Just put your finger on it there. Don't cover the camera. That's it. I'll be giving these out. Look, you see this?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, I've
My
got
little
one. Yep.
stickers. I'm going to have lots of these little bad boys.
Sweet.
I'm going to be handing them out everywhere. So please come and see me. Come and get one. Stick it on somewhere where you can see it every day. And yeah, really. Look forward to seeing you all whenever I see you.
Yeah, we'll see you at the
It'll be in
IWCA.
February.
Yeah.
It'll be in February.
Brilliant.
Well, Mark, anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Oh, just thank you, Jason, for coming and sharing your story. I got to hear you speak at the IWCA.
Yeah.
A lot of tears. It was an amazing talk.
Yeah.
Thank you for inspiring us in our safety moving forward. Our guys, we got out of the truck, look up, look out.
Yeah.
Remember Jason, guys. So thank you for coming on today and sharing that.
Thank you, Mark. Absolute honor. Thank you guys for having me on. Honestly,
got
it's
it.
a
And
massive honor.
Jason, I seriously, from the bottom of my heart, like I said, you've inspired me in not just window cleaning stuff.
Yeah.
It's a lifestyle, and there's a couple of guys in our chat that are on here that kind of live by the same MO, right? The giving. It's ways we can give back. So I want to thank you for promoting that. I want to also thank you for being honest and open with your story, but also you were vulnerable too about the other aspect too. And I think that it takes a special individual to discuss those kinds of things. So I want to thank you. I want to give a shout out to my boy Damien, who's always doing a lot for people in our industry, paying it forward in that aspect.
Yeah.
Squeegee Tom, some of the guys that pop in all the time, Chuck D, these guys, they show up. They show up for us. You know what I mean? And that's what it's all about. So thank you for bringing forth your story, your honesty, your integrity, and the generosity that you continue to show everyone in our industry, because I think that in itself is something that we all should, that might be the one little nugget that we all could take out of this whole thing too. Give it back, pay it forward, baby. So
give it back, pay it back.
Be safe.
I hope you guys have a great week. Jason, I'm going to send you, I want to correspond more frequently now. I feel like this is a great conversation.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for your time. I hope everybody has a blessed Friday. Change your rubbers, as Mark always says. I hope your passion bucket's full, and stay up and stay gold, everybody. Have a great week.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you, Jason.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
Much love.
Bye-bye.
Have a great weekend, everybody. Deeds, I got to
Have a good
run.
day, guys. All right.